Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkbutterfly.com. Thank you so much for joining me again today for another card making video. I'm doing a little bit of creating with embossing folders and punches today. So not a die cut in sight today. So this is what we're going to recreate using the Heartfelt Hexagon punch. Love this. Really cute punch. Really nice and sort of fits together. So I'm going to use that as a little sort of fun background. Okay, and we're going to double punch a sentiment just to make it custom fit. The embossing folder that I've used on the sample is this one. This is the Totally Terrific, I think it's called. This is from the current annual catalogue, so that will come to an end in May or April. Best to get things while you can. You don't know what's going to carry over and everything. So that's this one. But for the card we're going to make today, I'm going to switch it out for another one from the annual catalogue. Okay, this is the Eyelet, and this is a 3D embossing folder. Okay, the sentiment is from a set called Delicate Framing. It is an online exclusive, but it is a last chance item, along with its coordinating dies, which are really pretty. Okay, so let's get started then. So we're just going to use some what's this called? White Willow cardstock. This is what we're using, and we need some scrap paper. So this is the one that I used for my sample. Now this happens to be 4 inches wide, just because that's how I cut my White Willow, and it's actually 6 inches long. Okay, and we are going to do a little bit of ink blending. So on this one we've used Peach Pie, which is an older in colour, along with Timid Tiger, one of the newer in colours. The sentiment is in Blueberry Bushel. These are opposites on the colour wheel. Okay, so in the same vein we're going to use Pretty in Pink, which is one of the older in colours. These are the ones that are going to retire. Okay, so I'm going to use Pretty in Pink first of all, and I'm going to add ink down both of the sides of this piece of cardstock. Using a blending brush, I'm not looking for a smooth blend, I'm just looking for some colour. So don't mind if it's heavier in places. Okay, and we're going to do the same down the other side. So when we punch, we're going to end up with sort of an ombre kind of look. And it's easier to ink the base cardstock, that's a bit heavy, than doing it on the individual punched pieces. So we'll do this, okay, for our lighter shade. So like I say, Pretty in Pink, one of the retiring in colours, and one of the newer in colour, we're going to use Strawberry Slush. Okay, which is a really cute, actually really like it quite a lot. Now what brush shall I use? Because it's sort of a pinky red, so I'm just going to take off whatever excess ink is on there and make sure we're getting the right colour. This is quite dark, so I'm going to take off quite a bit and just bring that in just gently along the edge there. And just realised what I should have done was emboss this first, so let's just finish this thought and then we'll just emboss it. That's what I'm supposed to do, so that this ink catches those raised edges. So let's just finish that. I just jumped ahead of myself. Okay, let's just move this out of the way just for a second, and I'll bring in the embossing folder and we'll add some more ink over the top. Okay, so just gonna pop that in. It's a 3D folder, so your Stampin Cut and Emboss will tell you exactly which sandwich you need to use. So it's a base plate plus the number 4 dark grey plate that we need. Okay, and we're going to emboss the cardstock. It's a really pretty embossing folder. Loads of texture, of course. So we'll just grab that out of there. Well, it already looks stunning, doesn't it? Let's bring back our paper and do that again. Right, so what you're supposed to do is add your dark colour after you've embossed it, and the idea is that it will just kind of pick out those top it'll yeah, catch the top of that embossing and leave that lighter colour sat in the background. Okay, that looks lovely. It's going to look cute. Okay, so we can get this punched out now. It's really nice and simple, this is. Okay, so I'm going to get the texture. I'm going to get that into the punch, and you know what, if it knocks a couple of the edges, I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm not looking to line up anything. I'm just going to get as many punches out of this as possible. So I'm going to take one from this end. I'm going to take one from the other end. Ooh, like so. Okay. Oh, that's just, there we go. Now I've got room to take one from the middle here. So again, we'll get that in. Just make sure we're catching the whole of the shape. Again, not looking to see where it's going. I'm just want the shape. Okay, and then we're going to take some smaller half punched elements. So take it as big as you can, and then you can trim it down afterwards. So I'm going to chomp out that bit, and we're going to chomp out this bit. Okay, we only need you don't need the full width of it to go across the card, so I'm just trying to sort of get the most out of a smaller piece. Okay, you know, you can punch whole shapes if you want, and then cut them in half to accommodate. So it's up to you how you want to do it and what fits with your sort of design. Okay, so what we will do is we'll get this put together. So we'll start off, just going to use some seal, and I'm going to pop some tape across the back of here. Do these hole shapes first. Okay, and you're going to want to have a think about how much you want showing of all of these things. So I want to excuse me, I want to have the colour sort of showing, so I'm having that pointing outwards towards the edge of the card, and just eyeballing this and making sure it's sort of in the middle. And then we're going to pop this one right next to it underneath. I'm not going to press too hard, just for a second. I'm just going to make sure it's all I thought I'd put that the wrong way up then. Just make sure it's going to line up okay before I press that down too hard. Looks good. And then hopefully it's straight-ish. Looks okay, because it looks like it's reasonably even, that side. Okay, and then we want to add a little bit to this end. So oops, that way round and that way round. Okay, so it sort of continues but doesn't, and I'm okay with it not lining up in terms of the pattern. Now not all of you might be okay with that, but I'm okay with that. So obviously if you want it to line up, I would recommend doing a longer strip. You'll need it at least, well, probably more than 2 inches wide, because that's the height of this punch. So the height there is 2 inches, pretty much bang on. So you'll need it a little bit wider, and you can punch along and you can get a continuous pattern if that's what you want to achieve. And you know what, the punches, you know where it jammed, it's just kind of got some feathery bits on there. I ain't bothered, it's fine. You could sand this as well and give it another look. So again, just lining that up along the edge there, and that's our background done. We just need to chop off the edges. Now I'm going to use a little mini guillotine to do this. I feel like this is the easiest way, because you can line this up along the blade edge and right up against the top and then slice it down. You can totally do this with a trimmer, just be careful. And I've just got some stickies on there. Okay, now if it, oh, that doesn't cut us very well. Let's just try that again, shall we? There we go. Do the same again, line it up, make sure it's butted up. Not sure what the English is there, but lined up with the top, lined up with the blade edge there, and then cut off those little excess pieces. Okay, and that's our card sort of background done, and then you've got the option of which way up you want to have it. Okay, so we've kind of aimed for the middle, so does it look better like that or like that? And I think this one looks better like this, whereas this one I had the 3 at the bottom. You know, up to you. This is why you sort of do this loose, you know, rather than doing it straight on a card. You've got that option then to either trim it or do something different. Okay, so we'll pop that to one side just for a sec, because what we also need to do is our sentiments. Now, am I going to have enough room on this piece of cardstock? I am. Right, my complementary colour is going to be Granny Apple Green. So again, opposite sides of the colour wheel. We'll use the same stamp to get that on. Okay, just pressing firmly on there. Cute. And we are going to cut this out. So I'm gonna not worried about this bottom bit being chopped off a little bit, because we're going to double punch it. So I'm going to line that up at the top where I want it. I'm looking for the tail of the U and the H there to look like they're kind of reasonably even, but I want to just have that a little closer to the top. There we go. That looks about right for me. And like I say, that hasn't punched entirely, but it doesn't matter because we're going to punch it again. So to help you hold on to it, let me think about how I'm going to do this. I need to, yeah, I'll have to have it that way up. Okay, I'm going to use a little scrap of card. I'm going to pop a bit of seal on there. I'm going to attach it so I can hold it. And I'm going to pop it back into the punch, but I'm going to just wriggle that further up. The sides are even, sort of straight, so you can line up the sides and then adjust that height of that punch to where you want it. I'm going to go with there. So to make sure you get that out. So I've basically made it just, you know, what's that, 1/4 of an inch-ish shorter than it's designed to be. Okay, I hope that made sense. Okay, there's a little bit of paper stuck to it, could peel it off, I'm not going to bother. And then that's going to be nice and you know, it's a tighter shape but complementary to the design on the background. Okay, so I think that looks really cute. So we're going to pop that up onto some dimensionals, which I forgot to get out. There we are. That piece of cardstock I'm not going to worry about. I'm just going to put my dimensionals the other side of it. I'm not going to put them on top of it because that's going to affect the oops the it's going to be higher. So these three will hold it just fine. Yep, my brain stopped working then. Might have heard it through the camera. Some blobs of glue are going to it's going to do two things. It's going to help flat adhesive stick to a textured surface, and it's also going to give me the opportunity just to make sure I've got this in the right position before I press it down. So I'm going to go about there, so it's sort of offset to the background elements. And just like with this one, I'm going to bring in the oh, I must stuck it to the card base. Let's stick it to the card base, shall we? Probably should have done that before I did the sentiment, so hopefully that won't move. Should be fine. There we go. And then you'll get that nice cute little teeny tiny white border. There we go. I'll just make sure, whoops, can't pick it up. Just make sure that top fold's well creased, and then it will stand up absolutely beautifully as a top folding card. And then we'll finish it off with the so like I did with this one, I used the retiring colour flat pearls. So the retiring colour flat pearls are the pretty in pink, so we'll just grab our trio of those and pop those on in the usual fashion that I tend to go to. Okay, so there we go, a simple card with punches and embossing folders and ink, of course. Can't go. It's difficult to resist ink blending. I love ink blending. I love crafting. Okay, so there we go. There's our two cards. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed that. It'd be interested to hear what colours you would choose to go with this. So I've gone with opposite side of the colour wheel, but you can do all sorts of different options. We could have just gone with a red and a, you know, good, actually a red would have worked with that one as well, to be fair. But you know, there's loads of ways you can mix and match these colours. You know, get your colour wheel out and have a look and see what you think would go together. That's it from me today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Stay safe, take care, and I'll see you again really soon. Okay, ta-ta.